Texans tie 2020 against the Indianapolis Colts. Week 1. What a game, folks. It was one of those ones where both teams kind of came to play. Wild finish there at the end. I can't believe this is what we're getting for week 1 already, and what is going to be a tough division to probably watch this year. And after watching the week 1 games, I'm kind of optimistic that this scrappy Texans team might be able to squeak into the playoffs. I know that's probably a little bit early to be talking about this week 1, but I mean, I was impressed with what I seen. I feel like last season we went into week 1, we had Ty God, Taylor get us that week 1 W, and things were looking a little bit better than we had thought given the situation and the current state of the Texans. This year, I think expectations were a lot lower, but I have to say I'm pretty damn impressed with what we got, and I'm looking forward to the future. So let's break down some of the highlights of this week 1 game. First off, I thought the Texans played a pretty good first three quarters. A little bit slow start, a couple 3 and outs, but by the end of the first, they had really found their groove, and that offense really kicked in. I thought the defense played really consistent up until that fourth quarter, but I think that's all we can. That's kind of what we can expect with a young defense and a lot of rookies on this team this season. Second highlight for me, O.J. Howard. What a nice little pickup by the Texans after him being dropped by, I believe it was the Dolphins and then the Bills. He got both TDs with the Davis Mills connection. Really good pickup there by the Texans for him on that tight end position. Another highlight, Brandon Cooks wasn't his flashiest game, but 7 for 12, 82 yards still. And, you kind of just saw him pick up the ball a handful of times. There was nothing really outstanding, but good consistency. That's what we're going to need from the veteran wide receiver throughout this season. Next big highlight for me, our 2022 draft picks for their first NFL games, especially on the defense with Stingley Jr., Petrie. I thought they looked really good out there. Again, like I said, those first 3 quarters were awesome for this Texans team for what I expected going in. Of course, there's going to be those growing pains like we saw in for the fourth quarter and in overtime. But overall, I thought they played really darn good, and I think this is going to be a good scrappy team this year. Some of the lowlights for this game, the fourth quarter, man, that was tough to watch the Colts come back. That's where you get that veteran leadership that the Colts have in their players, especially Matt Ryan. Really took advantage of every Texans mistake. A little bit tough to watch, but to get out of there with the tie was better than the loss. Another lowlight, Texans defense in the fourth quarter. They were, I saw a comment on Reddit that just kind of summed the entire thing up perfectly. They weren't playing to win, but they were playing not to lose. And I think that's something that was a little bit frowned upon by this fan base, especially when they didn't go for it with 20 seconds left in overtime there, and just trying to walk out of there with the tie. I know Lovie Smith after the game had said it was better than a loss, but I think when you have very low expectations for your team, they would have learned a lot more by actually going for it and trying to get that play and that winning field goal down in that overtime there. And then kind of in the middle, I really thought it was Davis Mills. He had some highlights in the second and third quarter, some good chemistry there with O.J. Howard, but the inexperience really showed in the fourth quarter, and it's not just on him, but the entire team. I thought he played okay, and yeah, I'm still optimistic for week 2 here. We got the Denver Broncos. This will be a real test, but I think Texans got a lot of good momentum to build off of, and there's a lot of belief in that locker room that they're a good team. Most media had them projected to be 31st, 32nd, 30th to finish the year, and I just don't see that. I think they're going to finish at the very least third in the division, but I could see them pulling out, this could easily be a 9-8 division by the end of the year, and that could be the team that makes the playoffs, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be the Texans. But I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. What did you think of week 1? What are your expectations going into week 2? And how can this team improve going forward? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to answer some questions next week, and we can start a conversation. I really want this to be a two-way street and very conversational after each game, so let me know. In the meantime, if you're enjoying any of our sports content, please just at least give us a like or a comment. That really, really helps out. And if you, really enjoy it, then feel free to subscribe. But thank you, and we'll see you after week 2 against the Denver Broncos.